yep, absolutely. I don't even care that you're those kids right now. Like, put your phones in your faces right now because I do not want you watching what's around you. You ever finally sit down, like really sit down, and that's the exact moment someone yells your name from the other room?
Oh, yeah, every time. It's like the universe knows. The second I get comfortable, someone needs a snack, the dog's barking, or my phone's ringing.
So, whether you're listening in the car, hiding in the bathroom, or actually lucky enough to sit down,
Grab your coffee and let's get into it. Welcome to I Just Sat Down.
welcome back to I Just Sat Down. Today, we're talking about something so many mothers feel, but don't always have words for: our unmet needs. Not the obvious needs like groceries or sleep, although honestly, those too. I mean, the emotional, mental, relational, and human needs that often get buried underneath caregiving, responsibility, and survival mode. Mothers are expected to hold everything together while quietly abandoning parts of themselves. And somewhere along the way, many women stop asking, what do I need? So today, we're going there, not from a place of blame or shame, but from honesty, awareness, and maybe even a little bit of healing. If you've ever felt touched out, unseen, emotionally exhausted, lonely in motherhood, or guilty for wanting more, this episode is for you. The
There's
first
so
thing,
much to unpack here.
oh my gosh, yes, yes. The first thing that comes to mind for me is just something that, like, I personally have noticed and recognized lately, I guess more than any other time. And I think because, like, as my kids get older, I'm starting to like come back into my own and like, what do I want? What do I need? I have a little more time for
Yeah.
myself. What are things that are important to me? But one thing that I've noticed that I still struggle with is my own emotional needs. So I do feel very much kind of like what we do to each other a little bit here is kind of like we're having a thought and then the next one talks and then you're like, okay, can I just finish my thought first? With my kids, it's like that all the time. And maybe it's just because they're me. Maybe it's because they're just a little
Yeah.
piece of me. But also like it's hard because somebody will be having one big emotion and as I'm trying to deal with and talk to that person about what's going on with them, then you have somebody else being like, oh my god, can I show you this? Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I'm like,
Totally different
one
energy.
person, yeah, one person at a time is all I can handle. And then I will sit there and like, okay, finally I get a moment and I sit down to take a break. And I'm like, I'm just gonna just watch this video on my phone about something that's of interest to me for 36 seconds. It is 36 seconds. And
Yeah.
you can get 10 seconds into it. And then somebody's asking you something. And I'm like, put my phone down. And then I look and I go, mm-hmm. Mom, can I eat the pasta in the fridge? Mm-hmm. When would you not have been allowed to eat that? You know, like,
Yeah.
thank you for asking. Now just give me a whole minute, please.
Now shut up.
So it does still happen. Like as they get older, they do still need and require that love and attention. It feels like at all times. Um,
Yeah.
and I guess maybe like again with our phase and our cycles and whatever else, I have a different capacity at different times during the month.
Yeah, for sure.
Today,
100%.
not at all. But in 2 weeks, we can chat. Like
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
got hours.
Call me
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Take a vacation till then. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that that's super, super valid. I love what you said about like you're just realizing you have your own needs. Whereas like I feel like when you're in the young ages, it's like you're not even thinking about what you need,
No.
really. You're only thinking about, okay, what's the next thing? What are we doing after nap time? When's the next meal? When's the next this? When's the next that?
Mhm.
Um, you're planning your whole life on nap schedules and what's going on with them and not with you, right? So
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times, as the kids get a little bit older, that's when moms really start realizing like, hey, I've lost this little piece of myself. I'd like to kind of bring that back in. Or, you know, like you said, like, okay, how do I focus on one child's needs, my own, and then another, and then for you, and then another. And then you
Yeah.
also have like spousal
Oh
expectations too,
gosh,
right?
yes.
So it's just like, it's all those layers and all those pile ups of just like, oh my gosh, where do you even begin, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think women too, like we struggle so hard in asking for help,
Oh yeah. I would never.
you know?
I mean with Corey I feel like I can for sure because he's like
Right,
he's my safe person where I can lash out when I've been touched
right.
out and chatted all day and then he comes in and touches me and I'm like, "Come on, man." Like I just give me a second to like be in my own skin and
Yeah,
like let me go just have a shower to
right.
just wash off the day or like whatever, right? I sometimes you just need that time. And I know we've talked about this before where it's like that is sometimes our self-care in different phases of life. And it's
Hmm.
so important to pay attention to those needs for yourself because if you don't pay attention to the things that you require, then who are you good for at that point, right? Like you're not good for anybody else.
Right.
You're not taking care of
And
yourself. Your mental health gets.
and sometimes your body will remind you real quick,
Oh
like,
yeah.
hey, if you're not paying attention to me, I'm gonna make you pay attention.
Yeah.
My
Forced
one
rest.
girlfriend, yeah, she's like, oh, I'm sick. Like I haven't been, I've lost my voice, and like I, I just said to her, I'm like, listen, I'm like, when you're not sleeping and you're doing everything for everyone else and you're not taking care of yourself, your body's gonna let you know when it's time to rest. And I
Mm-hmm.
think millennials as a whole have a real hard time. I feel like I don't. I think I can rest. My brain doesn't really rest,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm okay to just like veg out on the couch. But I feel like there's this whole generation of people who are like that hustle culture, right? Like we have to be doing something at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't serve us well, right? Burnout and all of those things. Like burnout is extremely extremely present in my every single year.
Yeah.
Like I think people are always like, "Oh, like, you're going to have a baby and still work and do," and I was like, "I'm sorry. I didn't know I had a choice. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that's just how it is. But I
Yeah.
knew I could do it. I knew I could do everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, right? You just do
Yeah.
it. But the other day, I got a little bit of a humbling experience. Well, not even a humbling experience, but I just realized how full my brain actually was because I got into the car after a photo shoot and I just drove home. Silence. There was nothing, no
Mm-hmm.
podcast, no music, just
Mm-hmm.
the open road and me.
Yeah.
And it didn't even register that I hadn't put anything on until I was like really close to home and I was like, wow. Like my brain just needed that. My brain just
Mm-hmm.
needed me to be like, you're driving and that's it. And then it's funny because I keep seeing these reels of like it's men, which I should recreate it because it's women who do this. Anyways, but they're like driving in their car and then the caption or the text on the reel is like when you're driving and then you realize you're driving. It's
Oh
like, oh
gosh. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, because you're just like zoned
In your
out thinking
thoughts.
about all
Yeah.
the things. And like that does tie into like us just not asking for help, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's not only with those physical things, like I've been on my feet all day.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's my brain has literally not shut off. Like
Yeah.
how many women go, I lay down beside my husband and he's just like
Instant.
asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that? I
Yeah.
can't like there's not a chance that my brain gets into bed and is like, okay, good
Mm-hmm.
night. No. No, my
Unless you're
brain's like,
like,
what the fuck
unless,
did you not
yeah.
do today? We're running through an entire list of
Right.
all the things I maybe got done, didn't get done, still have to do tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you've been at like Wonderland all day, I feel like if you've been like outside all day in the heat and you're like, I need a shower and my pillow and that's it. That's the only
If you're
time. So like,
so okay, so what you're saying is You have to be so
Yeah.
physically exhausted
Exhausted. Yeah.
that your brain has no choice but to be like, all right, I'll talk to you
Good
tomorrow.
night. Yeah. Either that or it's if I stay up way too late the night before and like have to get up the next day super early, like I've had like 3 hours sleep the night before, then I know the next night I'm not trying to play my game for 30 minutes on my phone to like calm my brain
Right.
down
Yeah.
or picking up my Kobo to be like, okay, let's try to read a couple pages to just like not think of whatever else
Yeah.
is going on in my brain. Right.
It's so true. And
I don't know
then
how the
the
guys
thing,
do that. How the fuck do they
I
do
don't
that?
know. But I think the thing that gets tied into that is never being able to shut your brain off, but then feeling guilty. Like
Mm.
bringing in the guilt of like the things that you know, the endless to-do list, those four things that you weren't able to do today.
Oh
We
my
feel guilty
gosh.
about that. It's like
Yeah.
what the it's like all the things that we
Yeah.
didn't get done. And I've also been seeing the reels where it was like I did nothing today, but really like nothing is like they
Yeah.
did the laundry, they did the dishes, they cooked meals for everyone, got
Yeah.
everyone out of the house, got ready to go. And it's like why do we feel guilty about doing all of those things? I just I don't know. It's motherhood's a trip,
Yeah. It's such
you
a
know.
the realness as well. Like those videos, like you're saying, like I literally did nothing today. And then yeah, you see the run through of 8,000 things they did in a day. And you're like, I remember whenever the kids were little and like I first experienced like being at home when Corey would be at work all day. And then he would come home and it was like the famous question, like, well, what did you do today? And I was
Hmm.
like, man, I need to fucking make a list. I have to consciously make a list. And how many times I was like, okay, I'm going to make a list tomorrow. The next day, I'm going to put this in writing so he knows what I did.
You don't have
And
time
then,
to make a list. You
and
did
then
so much shit.
I never made the list, but there would be days where he would message me and be like, oh, what do you have going on today? He still asks me this all the time. He just is interested in my life, I think, at this point. But
Yeah,
he's like,
for
what
sure.
do you got going on today? And I would send him 10 a.m. doing this, 10:45. I have to do this, going to this place at da, 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 da. And by this point, I'm like, okay, this is the full day, and I ain't
Yeah.
gonna get half this shit done.
No.
There and I'm in a place in my life where like, yes, I don't really give a fuck if the dishes sit in the sink overnight and in the morning I do
Right.
them or the next day at some point I do them. Whereas Corey has a hard time with stuff like that. He's more of like my OCD partner that needs things to be a certain way or he can't
Mhm.
function or he gets frustrated. And I try to respect that, but also I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
And
Is
that's
that
that's
me talking about Dave? Because it's the exact same. Like he got up and did the dishes the other day.
okay.
He's like, "Well, I was making my lunch and I needed them out of the way."
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, like
Yeah.
you do
And yeah.
you, boo, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna take that extra 20 minutes of sleep."
Yeah.
Ah, goodness.
100%.
So
Yeah.
funny.
And then yeah, I feel like, over the time from like when you start having kids and as they get older, I know we talked about this before and like reclaiming our identity, but it's like we go through so many different phases
Yeah.
over our lifetime, right? Like I was thinking about it today and I thought it was funny because like every time I start something new, like I take it to social media because I'm like, maybe this is my niche, maybe this is my niche, maybe it's this. And it's like I
Who has niches?
love that I am, what is that, like a serial hobbyist? Because
Yeah.
whatever it is that I take on, it genuinely brings me so much joy. Like I don't really watch TV. I started watching Off Campus and now that's my whole life. I'm obsessed with these characters. I'm living for this hockey player who I've never been into hockey players, but now because of this show, I'm like, fuck, now I got to read a whole 4-book series on this. This is my personality for the next little while, okay?
Yeah.
But like in the
Love
sourdough
that.
thing and like the embroidery, there's just so many things that like as I take it on, this is part of my life. And I feel like as I become a grandmother, I'm hoping to be that grandmother that the grandkids will be like, oh, I really want to learn how to do this. And they're like, ask your grandma. She knows how to do everything.
Right. I love that. Honestly, it's great. I feel like I'm more of a serial entrepreneur.
Yes,
Like I'm
yes,
like, I'm
yes.
gonna do this. Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this. Oh,
Yeah.
we're just gonna start this other business. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. And that's your business mindset though, too, right? Because
It
there,
is,
when it
yeah.
comes to businesses, it's, not always about the money side of it, but money is something super important in life. So
A
it's
little
the only
bit.
way we can get through it, especially when I
Yeah.
put $100 in gas in my car and it goes in a week. Uh,
Yes. Shout
I
out to
could cry.
gas prices.
Fuck, man. Like, what the heck is happening out there? Um, and then yeah, all of the invisible loads that mothers carry. So like we are the planners, we are the ones, the events are happening and we are taking on everything. So it's
Yeah.
hard, I feel like, in our day-to-day lives when somebody not in our household, not in our family comes to us and says, hey, can you help me? Right, when people are asking for help, you know that it's important because they it's probably a hard thing for a lot of people to
Yep,
do. Then you have
for
people
sure.
that have no problem asking for help all the time, but forget about those people for a second.
Yeah.
When you have somebody asking you for help, you think of them as yourself. Like I know that I have a hard time asking, so when somebody asks me, hey, I really need help with this is where the people pleasing comes in, because you're like, oh my gosh, obviously they need it because they're asking for help right now, and you're now planning an event for 50 people that you had no intention of ever doing, and or whatever, and
Yeah.
now everything in your day-to-day life is getting either pushed around, or you're getting more frustrated at home because you feel like, well, I don't have time to do this stuff right now. I have to work on this thing for this other person. So
Right.
that's where, as we get older, we find the value in the relationships to be like, I think I can say no to this because I don't feel like I need to do this for this person. I'm not the one that needs to help with this specific thing. So being polite enough to yourself and saying, no, I actually don't have the capacity to take that on right now. Or,
Right.
there's like AI and Google and stuff. So you can like look up polite ways to decline.
Polite ways.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
my face doesn't say the things, but the
No,
words can.
I know. I know. I think it really just comes down, it's just such a juggling act. I feel like for me, well, and for you, but anyone who is a business owner as well as a mom, like with mom, your brain doesn't ever shut off. Like that to-do list, that emotional side of it, like the planning, all the things you're always thinking about it, birthdays, all that stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
also like when you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, especially when you own your own business, like your business day doesn't end at 5 p.m.
No,
Like
no.
the business is always on your mind, it's always in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have like this whole other business side of it, which is like your content and all
Oh my
that
God.
side of it. So it's just like even more things piled on top of an already way too busy schedule. Like I just like think of my brain and I'm like, okay, I think of my brain in four quadrants. I don't, that's normal, right?
I
And I'm
mean,
like, this has this stuff, this has this stuff, this has this stuff, and this has this stuff. Like that's how I literally think of it. And I'm like,
huh.
the business needs to be like shut off for a second because I have to be at home and do these things.
Do you
And
have boxes in your brain that go away and then you take
sure,
out the next box?
I don't know if I'd really say that, but I don't
Hmm.
know. I feel like that's how I have to like get things done. Like people are always like, "Oh, like how do you get things done or how do you work from home?" And I'm like, I literally I set timers all the time
Okay.
because like I'll be like, I'm gonna edit this session until 10:30 and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this. And maybe that's just the ADHD in me that I'm like, I need to only have a certain amount of time. And that's how I make it through my day because I just have way too many things on the go. But I take that like that feeling of like you're always on. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
always on. Like I've made boundaries in life. And I think that any mom who does own a business, if you do one thing this year, it's focus on setting your boundaries.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
if you email me about a family photo shoot at 11 p.m., that's great that that's when it hit you. I understand that that's when it hit your busy mom brain,
Yeah.
but you need to understand that I'm not messaging you back until it's appropriate.
Yeah, those are Crystal's personal business hours that she'll be writing content at 11 p.m. Because I
Yeah,
know I was doing my
exactly.
website. I was working on website stuff
Yeah.
till midnight last night. And I was like, I just need to shut this. This can wait until the morning. It's okay. Nobody's on the website at midnight.
One.
Shut it, and go to bed.
I know, but it's so hard. I think too with being a mom and being your own business
Yeah.
owner, like those two things are so
Mhm.
personal,
Yeah.
right? Like I and obviously like business has shifted and changed in that time when I became a mom because obviously he comes
Yeah, your priorities. Mhm.
before everything else, but it's man, it's a hard juggling act and I think having a great partner like Dave is very understanding of like if I'm like, "Hey, way too much going on up here. You're talking? I hear
Yeah.
nothing."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And very open about saying, like, I know that you're saying
Yes.
things to me right now, but I'm not taking it in
I'm
right
not
now.
listening. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even put it in the skylight. Shout out to Skylight. Put it in there and I'll check back with
I'll
you
get
because
to
like
it
I
later.
I literally can't. I don't know what you're saying. And
How
like that
was
happens
my
to us a lot.
day?
Like we'll be eating dinner and like Charlie will be flipping out about whatever he doesn't want to
Yeah.
eat and Dave's trying to tell me a story and he's
Oh,
very much like he can just
drown it out a little
drown
bit.
out
Yeah.
the sound and I'm like, I am not even listening to you. I have no idea what you're saying to me
Yeah.
because the child is asking me for ketchup and milk and all the things and I
Very
can't.
overstimulating for sure. Yeah.
Very overstimulating.
Yeah. And it's
Absolutely
good. It's definitely
overstimulating.
important, like as a mother, to communicate those things with your partner if you have a good partner, an understanding partner. Because
Yes.
one of the things
Even
that's
if
so
you don't, because that's how you
right.
get better,
Yes. Yes.
right?
100%. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Because he wasn't always good. That's true.
You have to train them. No, I'm just
You have
kidding.
you do. I mean, are we
I mean,
kidding? But yeah, another thing is like we need to be cared for. Like you said, like we need to be nurtured, we need to be protected, we need to not necessarily protected, but you know what I mean? Like we need to be in our feminine energy sometimes. And
yeah.
that includes, yeah, having a supportive partner that sometimes will check in. And when you look and feel like shit in your own body and you're feeling gross and whatever else, for somebody to be like, oh my gosh, you are beautiful. You are amazing. Like I got a message from Corey this morning and he's like, you're beautiful, you're amazing. And then, saying, oh, I'm so lucky that I get to spend the rest of my life with you. Like getting messages like that on a regular basis to me is like the reminder and support that I need in my life because
Clearly
that's
her love language is words of affirmation.
yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
And that time together because I hate it when he's not here. I'm so used to having him
Right.
here. But yeah, for him to just remind me of things like that. And then, and then my love language back to him is like, oh yeah, you're pretty lucky. But me too. Like
I love it.
because I can't
You
let
are
him
the
forget.
luckiest.
Yeah, I can't let
No,
him forget.
no, you cannot let him forget. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think sometimes it's like we talk about like the unmet needs and like what we really need. Sometimes I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the mental load, the to-do list, like I don't know. So if you are a guy who is listening, just do something. Anything. Just take it off her plate. Don't even ask her. Say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm taking care of dinner tonight." Or, "Hey, I put a load of laundry in." Anything. It doesn't matter.
We'll
because I
clap. We'll
think
clap for you.
sometimes we'll clap for you. It'll be a slow little one, but we'll clap for you. But like seriously, I think it's just because sometimes like Dave will even say like, "Hey, what do you need? What's like what is?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I need someone to take this quadrant of my brain and figure it out."
Clean it up a
Because
little.
yeah, it's true
Yeah.
that sometimes we just like we don't know what those unmet needs are, right? Maybe it
100%. Yeah.
is just driving somewhere in your car with no music, no one talking, no one asking for a snack,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just be alone with your thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So,
And we are so
anyway,
conditioned as women to always take care of everybody else. And
yeah.
like it's just like a natural thing that we have to do. I saw a video the other day that the husband was like he's like, go through my wife's makeup kit with me and let's restock all of her empty things. And I was like, that's so fake. That is what the fuck do you mean?
That is not
Men do
happening. You have
that?
no
I'm
idea.
just kidding. Yeah. That
And
guy, I
also,
was
why are
like,
you in my shit making a mess?
yeah. Yeah. And that's right. And they're like, you're always cleaning up after your kids. You're always doing the things. And with children, hello, they are the definition of insanity sometimes because you
Mm,
clean up and as you're cleaning up, they're making the mess behind you. I got
yeah.
halfway through the bathroom counter with like cleaning up the makeup, the girls stuff, put it here's a container for you. Here's a container for you. This is a container for, I don't know who the fuck it belongs to, but somebody take it. So I'm putting all the things in the things. And then I come back later and all of those things are back on the counter. And I'm like,
Oh
you
my
guys,
God.
this is maddening. This is maddening. And now it's going to stay messy because
I can't.
why would I go back and clean it again?
You're
And
done.
and maybe that's a lesson that they need to learn, and that's okay.
Maybe.
So when
Maybe.
it comes to healing, as I've been on this healing journey for a couple of years now, I feel like something that's so important as part of that journey is acknowledging the fact that you have these unmet needs. And like we've talked
Yeah.
about, communicating those needs, right? Start naming the things that you're feeling without putting shame or guilt behind them. So it's okay to say, hey, I need to hire a cleaner and we'll come in without judgment. No, I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
But those, like something like that, right? It's okay to have that kind of help in your home if that is something that brings you some sort of a rest period for yourself, to come home after work and be like, oh my gosh, my house is clean. I don't
Yeah.
have to, like, I'm going to get the kitchen messy now because I got to make dinner and the kids are going to destroy this room now because they're going to go play in this nice clean
Yeah.
room. But there's things like that that you can ask for support. There are services out there that can help. Even just talking to a trusted person about what you're going through or how you're feeling, learning how to trust yourself is huge. That's safety, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
and then you're also modeling those healthy habits for your kids to grow up and not be conditioned to be there for everyone else first, like learning how to take care of yourself first, right?
Right. I love that.
Anyways, did you want to get into some rapid fire?
Of course I do.
Okay. What is one thing mothers need that nobody talks about?
Help.
Mhm.
No, we all talk about that. I think support is like the biggest thing, and maybe understanding, because it's
Mhm.
one thing to, ask, like, what do you need? Again, sometimes we really don't know. So understanding how to support a mom in a certain phase of life is chef's kiss.
Yeah. And you and I don't work a 9 to 5. So
Right.
I try to think about those mothers that like are going to work and have a boss and have to deal with somebody else's shit as
Right.
well as feeling their own way or whatever. Like we stop taking other people's shit. So we're pretty good here. But
Yeah,
we also
absolutely.
understand and relate to having to deal with a boss or somebody that has their own struggles. What is your biggest unmet need lately?
Oh, probably exercise and just
Okay.
finding time
I think you're doing
to
a great job actually, because you're on
oh,
my Apple friends and I see you doing shit. So I think you're doing
thanks.
a great
But
job.
I think like I am really trying to make that more of a priority and making sure that I make time for that unmet need,
Yeah.
because I think that's where I'm at right now. Is just like trying to do that more so for my mental health than anything
Mhm.
else. What
100%.
about you?
My emotions, I feel like, yeah, definitely that. Like if I want to have a good cry, I have to put on a movie that we're all gonna cry to. And usually Corey's first now. He's the first one he's like, why the fuck do you keep putting this stuff on? I'm like, because I need to feel something and I can't feel anything.
I know we're watching The Pit right now, and he's like, "This is why I stopped watching this show
Oh,
because it's sad." And I'm
oh,
like, "Okay,
sucker. No,
relax."
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good.
right?
It's good. It's good to
It's
have
good.
those
Let it
emotions,
out.
people. Yeah. When was the last time you truly rested? It was 1985.
Yeah, it was a hot minute ago, but we are going on a little bit of a girls' trip soon, so that
Aw.
will be a rested weekend,
Oh, I love
hopefully.
that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Hmm.
I feel like I rest enough during the day sometimes. I don't know. I feel like I'm rested. I feel like I know what it's like to live off of 3 to 5 hours of sleep as when they're little, and now I feel
Right.
like I'm very rested.
Yeah, good.
What's something that motherhood made you grieve, like from your life before being a mom?
Oh, I think just
Like time?
freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom. Like just being
Yeah.
able to just be like, well, let's go and do this,
Mhm.
you know, and
And
not
you don't
have to
realize
think
that.
about, yeah, you don't really
Yeah.
realize that. I mean, would I go back to that? No, probably
No.
not. Maybe to
No.
squeeze Ace one more time, but that's about it.
Yeah. What's one thing you wish people understood about moms?
That we do it all,
Yeah.
but we shouldn't have to.
Yeah. I think that if you're trying to talk to me about something, I'm probably thinking about something else. Like,
Likely.
I try to be an active listener. I think that's something that I've had to like learn how to do.
Oh, uh-huh.
Um, but yeah,
Talks too much in class. Yeah.
yeah,
Me.
yeah. What instantly overstimulates you?
Oh my God, this office. Oh my God, I can't. I can't because we have like Ace Magnets shit in here. I've got
Yeah.
photography stuff. There's a walking pad for when it was cold. There's oils. There it just it's this is like a catch-all room.
Okay.
So and it's what wild that I work in here because it's such an overwhelming room. But
Hmm.
I just need somebody else to come in and just be like, this is fucking garbage.
See, she's
Just throw it
asking.
out. See, I'm asking for help, guys. Help me. But then I'm like, oh no,
Um,
I might need that in 3 months. Mm.
yeah, but boxes compartmentalize those things, right?
Yeah, we got lots
Um,
of boxes.
for me, I think it's touching me when it's hot. Like if I'm already sweating and you come and you touch me with your hot body, it could be a
Yeah,
nice thing once in a while, but only when I do it. If you do it
right.
when I'm hot, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
She's got to reach out
Gonna
first, friends. She's
yeah.
got to reach out first.
It's only if I want my sweat touching your sweat, not the other way around.
But
What would support actually look like for you right now?
um just understanding that this is we're coming into just a super busy season, and if we're I think specifically speaking to like Dave and I, like if we're passing ships, like that just is what it is right now.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just understand that, like, we'll have time for us, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, passing
Okay.
ships.
I don't really know how
What
to
about
answer
you?
that. I don't really know how to answer that. I feel like if I need support, um, I have Corey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's my balancing person right now. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today. If this episode resonated with you, I hope it reminded you of something important, that we as mothers are human beings too. You are allowed to have needs. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to want support, softness, rest, care, and space for yourself outside of what you provide for everyone else. Maybe the next step is simply admitting, I need something too. If this conversation spoke to you, share it with another mom who may need to hear it today. And as always, we are so glad you're here. We'll talk to you next time on I Just Sat Down.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, that went by fast. Kind of like every quiet moment we try to have in real life.
Right? I swear I just sat down, and now it's already time to get back up again.
Story of our lives. But before we head back into the chaos, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
We hope this episode made you laugh, think, or at least reminded you that you're not the only one trying to hold it all together.
Because none of us really have it figured out. We're all just doing our best, one cup of coffee and one deep breath at a time.
If you enjoyed this episode, hit that follow or subscribe button so you never miss when we finally get to sit down again.
And share it with a friend who could use a little reminder that it's okay to take a break, because she deserves it too.
You can find us over on Instagram and TikTok at ijustsatdown.podcast. We love hearing from you, your stories, your wins, and even your you won't believe what happened to me today moments.